Welcome to Getting Real with John Natale. I'm your host, John Natale. Today, guys, to discuss how to grow on social media in 2025. Can we actually believe we're not at the end of the year, but we are getting close to it? We're in the last quarter. We're in the last season. This is the finale. We're wrapping up, hopefully, what was a great 2024 for you, and we're heading to 2025, and that's why I'm starting to eye what are you going to have to do on social media to grow a great brand, a great presence, grow a community, and grow an attraction magnet business so people reach out to you every damn day saying they want to work with you. How are you going to do that? This episode is going to start to break it down. We're going to look at what you need to do to really start growing your social media presence in 2025. And before we dive into that, I have to take a minute to thank you for listening to Getting Real. Getting Real is a part of what we are building here at Natale. Our fundamental mission is to redesign the real estate industry so less agents fail and more agents find the life of their dreams. It's what we're all about. It's what I've been able to achieve, and it's what I'm helping agents across the country do. We have 40 agents across the country, and we're looking to get to 50 within the next 30 days. If you are looking for a great coaching family to join, we have numerous different options from joining just the group to high-level team coaching and everything in between. Okay, we have it set up as a ladder. We are not a one-size-fits-all. You can be with us from literally the first day of your career through running a multi-million-dollar organization. Okay, the reality is you need to take the first step and go to natalecoaching.com. Look at what we're doing. Look at what we kind of do. It's all there for you, our pricing, all the different options. And then right at the bottom is a great little link right into my calendar where you can book a call directly with me. And I will then show up at that meeting to discuss what we do and possibly how we could help you grow your business. Discovery call is free, so book it if you're interested and let's meet and talk about it. And if you're here in New Jersey, you're an agent in New Jersey, and you're looking to grow your brand, there's no better brokerage to be partnered with than Natale. So there's also a link below to fill out a form and I will reach out to you so we can discuss what it's like here at Natale. Let's start to talk what you will need to do to grow on social media in 2025. There's a few fundamental principles that I see out there. And in this episode, we're going to go through them one by one and discuss them. And if you're looking to grow on social media, whether you've already made great progress and you're looking to get to the next level, whether you're just starting out and looking to get somewhere, whether you're like, oh crap, I'm too scared to get on camera. Why am I not doing this yet? And you want to start doing something, you will learn something in this episode and you will get the exact roadmap you need to grow by 2025 so that by the end of 2025, you can be almost where I am or past where I am or where I am and have people reach out to you every damn day. Because that's what I've built over the last year. Every day in my DMs, text, call, email, somewhere, someplace, someone is reaching out to me and saying, hey, John, I want to do business with you. I'm going to let that sink in. Every single day, I have someone reach out to me saying, hey, John, I want to do business with you. That has helped, obviously, my own individual business. I keep my book of business small, though, but that has helped the agents here at our company. That has helped everything streamline. Everything is so profitable around here. We don't have to pay for leads. We don't really have to do anything other than create content that brings it back to us. And the coolest thing has been, as the leader and as the owner of this company, is the agents at my company that dive into this. And I have one right now who's built a pretty big business outside of social media, but she dove in recently and she has a client under contract already. She's crushing it with it, and the presence is only going to grow. And if you're looking out there, hey, how do I do this? This episode is going to be for you, because that's what I think every agent should aspire to be. It's way easier. It's so much less stressful. When you have people reach out to you every day saying they primarily and only want to work with you, they listen to your advice, it's literally like working with your best friends all the time, because you're not having people reach out, like people who don't. If you watch my consumer-facing side, you'll see that there's probably a good chance that some people, maybe even most people, don't like me. Same thing on the agent side. I'm sure there's a lot of real estate agents who hate what I talk about. Some people love it. Some people hate it. We're going to get to that point. But the point is, the people who reach out to you absolutely love you and they want to work with you. Same thing for our coaching program. Like if you're not for social media, you're probably not listening to this podcast and you're probably not becoming part of our coaching family, to be perfectly honest. That's okay. But the reality is, if you want that for your business, let's dive into what exactly you need to do. The first thing is probably the best advice, and it's going to be the most uncomfortable truth, that you're going to need to hear. So we're going to kind of just get it out of the way. Number one, in terms of if you want to grow on social media in 2025, is you need to share your damn opinion. If you do not have an opinion, you will not grow on social media. Dead stop. You could stop listening to this episode. You could turn it off. You could stop tuning into my content, because none of it in terms of growing a personal brand will help you if you do not share your opinions. That is very uncomfortable for a lot of people, but let me inspire you. 90% of people are going to hear that statement and turn off this episode. 10% of you are left. The 10% who get it, even if you haven't felt comfortable yet, the 10% that get it are going to change this industry. You are going to absolutely clean up your market. You are going to absolutely crush every appointment you have. You are going to grow a massive business if you get to be part of that 10%. The 10% of agents that will actually put themselves out there and actually share their opinions. This isn't, the fluffy, just put a couple posts of nice pictures and, nice pans of houses, or the local supermarket, or the local market you go to, or the farmer's market you go to, or the park you go to. Yes, all of that stuff could be content. Anything in the world can be content, but the content that actually works is having an opinion. And let me share with you why. There's the first most obvious reason. People will either love it or they will hate it. And when people love something and love your opinion, they will want to do business with you. And when they hate it, that sounds a little scary, but let's be real. When they hate it, it's actually great for your business. You got to stop catering to all. You're not going to have every client. And when you stop worrying about and putting out content, putting out your opinions, the people who don't resonate with your opinions will not reach out to you. How many times have you worked with someone that you're like, how do I deal with them? How do they deal with me? And how do I deal with, this is just crazy. That never happens to me anymore. Never. The people who reach out want to be in business with you. That's reason number one why dropping your opinion and sharing your opinion consistently works. Reason number two is a little more subtle, but equally as important. You cannot grow on social media without sharing your opinion. So the get into business is a huge part, but also in terms of growing a following, more and more people liking, sharing, engaging, and commenting on your content does not happen if there's not an opinion there. Look at one of my coaching clients, Daniel Chavez, in Las Vegas. This guy has absolutely crushed his real estate industry over the last 9 or so months, 12 months, in the last year. And if you watch his videos, especially the early ones that really, really blew him up, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. You will see somebody who's super, super comfortable leaning into a little bit of controversy with his hooks and forcing an opinion. Now, he does it with a highly entertaining home tour, but the example is there. His most popular videos are typically a hook that you probably would never feel comfortable saying. And if you look at the comments, it's numerous how many people might disagree with it or agree with it or love it or hate it. But by you being bold and by you sharing your opinion in so many different ways, you look at my content, a lot of it has a very direct opinion. If you do that, it drives someone to have an opinion back. And especially on TikTok, and now Instagram has kind of followed a similar algorithm. When you can drive that opinion, people love to voice their opinion. They just hate sharing it on a video. So what do instead? They comment on yours. Or they send it to a friend and go, how dare this fucking guy? How dare him? Or they say, maybe they share it and say, oh, wow, this is hysterical. This is funny. It doesn't have to be negative. But reality is, most times when you're driving opinion, most of the stuff that comes back is negative. And the reality of that is, when you drive comments to your content, all these platforms realize, oh, people stay engaged with this when they start commenting, because then people reply to their comments. People like their comments. That gets them back on the platform. So when you can get people to comment on your content, they send it to a hell of a lot more people. You don't get comments on your content without it being engaging and without an opinion. And that's why I know I'm spending a little bit of time on this, but that is why having an opinion is so damn important. One, it's what actually drives people to reach out to you. If you do not have opinion, people will not give a crap about working with you. If your 5 favorite places to go out to eat are not a little bit controversial in your area, where people are like, oh my God, how dare you say that number 3? That place sucks. Or, oh my God, that's my favorite place. You should have tried X. If you can't drive that with your content, you're not going to reach the following you need to have success. And you're also not going to have people reach out to you and see you as the expert. It's that simple, guys. It is that damn simple. Anytime I film a video about kind of strategies and whatnot on social media, I typically leave that for last. But I wanted that up front today, because again, if you are still listening to this, you are part of that 10%. And I want you to be inspired by that. And I want you to be hyped up and ready to go, because now we have the rest of the advice. You need to do it consistently is the piece of advice number 2. One of the most common things that happens with agents I coach, agents at our country here, agents I just talked to across the country, is they have things come up and they get sick, their dog gets sick, their cat gets sick, their mother gets sick. I don't know why I keep saying people get sick, but we all have shit come up in our lives. Vacations, do some more happy things, right? Graduations, weddings, destination weddings, engagements, birthday parties. Everyone has things come up. And what I usually pose back to coaching clients, agents here, agents I talk to, when they look at either myself or anybody else who's grown exponentially over social media, and I say, do you think we don't have shit that comes up in our lives? Do you think my son is never sick? Do you think my wife is never sick? I'm never sick? Do you think I don't have to go to funerals? That everything is all peaches and rainbows and beautiful things in our lives? Absolutely not. And usually it's actually the opposite, to be perfectly honest. Usually a lot of people in their content are getting away from something, right? So when you hear that, I want you to be inspired by it. Everybody's got shit going on. Everybody is busy. Everybody has clients calling them. Everybody has listing appointments to go to. Everyone's got a CO inspection to go to. Everyone's got a closing to go to. Everyone's got a kid who's sick. Everyone's got a wedding to go to this weekend. Everyone's got soccer practice this weekend. Everyone's got a birthday party coming up. Everyone's spouse is, well, I should say everyone's spouse is pregnant, mine is right now. Everyone's wife is pregnant. Everyone's, husband just got laid off. Everybody has fucking life kicking them in the teeth at all times of the year, all times of the day. The difference is the people who have success, and if you want to have success in 2025, you have to commit to consistency. So how do you do that? Because it's not just this philosophy, right? How the hell do you do that? Here's how I do it, and here's how everybody that I coach that does it successfully does it. Number one is batch film. So kind of like I sit here and film my podcast, usually a few episodes at a time, some interviews at a time. I don't sit here, every episode drops on Wednesday. I don't show up Wednesday morning and say, okay, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to just film a podcast and I'm going to put it up. No, we film this shit sometimes weeks, sometimes a month in advance. We come up with the ideas, come here, we execute, send to an editor, he edits, we watch it, make sure it looks good, we release it. All of my content that I put out on social media, you typically, now it makes my life a lot easier, always wearing a black t-shirt, but all my content has the same outfit. You want to know why? Because I typically sit there and film 5 to 10 videos in one sitting. Now, again, I might be a little bit of a different example because I literally do wear I do wear the same thing every day, not the same physical clothing. I just have a shit ton of black shorts and pants and a black shirt. Just makes my life a lot easier. I have way too much on my fucking plate to be worried about what to wear. I know that's not everyone. But the reason being, if you actually look at him, you could kind of tell like, oh, wow, he's batch filmed all these because they all kind of look the same. That's how to do it, though. That's the only way to do it because we're all so goddamn busy. And if we're also goddamn busy, the difference is, and one big difference that you can make right now is commit to batch filming. So you need to get on a pretty organized schedule and you need to be able to look out and say, you know what, Friday, I have a pretty nice openings with no meetings. So Friday from 9 a.m. to 12, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to have my ideas ready to go. I'm not going to come up with everything in that session. That's way too much brain power. Okay, let me rewind a little bit. You need to keep your planning for your content and your ideas separate from when you actually film. You do not have the brain power to sit down, think of 10 ideas, and then go and execute those 10 ideas. So the brain power has to be someplace else. But then you look on your calendar, say, I'm going to film from 9 to 12, and I'm going to get all my videos done. I'm going to put them in my drafts, captions, text, everything on the screen, the description done. So literally all I have to do for the next 7 to 10 days, next 5 days, however many videos you're releasing, is press the post button. You can use a service like repurpose.io to take it from TikTok and put it on other platforms. I think it's like $250 for the year. I don't use it because I just have my own little system down, but agents that I coach have started using it and seem to like it so far. Make yourself efficient because otherwise you're not here to be a full-time content creator. I don't sit here, like it may look like, oh wow, John's got all the time in the world. He could do the content. Fuck no. I can't do this content all the time. It's stressful as hell as just as much as it is. And I have a pretty disciplined schedule and then release schedule. Everybody is busy. But the reality is the people who have success with it batch film, put it in their drafts, have it ready to post because that's what makes them consistent. So that's what you'll need to do if you want to grow in 2025 on social media. And if you don't want to grow and you want to have, a good month, grow a little following and then take a month off, you're not going to get really anywhere. It's just like anything else. If you want open houses to work for your business, do you host 2 open houses a year? Hell no. You're hosting at least 3 or 4 a month. And then 6 months later, you're going to have a great business from it. Same thing with social media. Yeah, sometimes you can have one viral video, but who gives a shit? Have you ever seen these accounts? I have. I do a lot of research. They had one viral video that literally had like 8 million views. And they picked up 10,000 followers and had 1.7 million likes. And when you go to their page, you're like, wow, they have 10,000 followers, 11,000 followers. They only put up 7 videos. Wait another 2 months. Trust me, that person's still going to be stuck at 10,000 with 1.7 million likes. One viral video isn't going to do it for you. One open house isn't going to do it for you. One prospecting call isn't going to do it for you. The consistency is what does it for you. And in social media, it is vitally important. So how do you do that? You batch film. And you also have the mindset. This is part 2 of this. You also have the mindset that you will not give up. There will be shit that comes up in your life. I'm not saying to go to, my grandfather unfortunately just passed away. I didn't go to my grandfather's funeral and shoot content that day because I had to. That was a day, okay, you know what? It didn't come up. But I've also built out for over a year with not even joking, 700, probably had 1,400 videos in the last year. So while you're in the building stage, it's a little different. But if I had something batched before that, not that I would have released it at the funeral, but you know what? Would have had content for the day. There's always going to be shit that comes up, guys. But if you have things batched, it will make things a lot easier. And it's not even like the negative or positive things in life. Just being a real estate agent is really goddamn busy. We all didn't want a 9 to 5, so we could work 24/7 now. This business consumes you, and so does content as well. It is almost like a part-time job, but the growth from it is exponential. Like you could drive your entire business from it, and that's why it's worth it. And that's why in 2025, that's when the whole tide turns. That's when everybody in the office, every guy in the office, every girl in the office, everybody coming in as a new real estate agent, every experienced real estate agent, you're going to start seeing them putting themselves out there on camera because they realize it's the only way to substantially grow without having to pay all these dumb portals. So if you want to grow, you need to 1, have an opinion, and 2, you need to make it super consistent. Number 3, you need to give it some time. It's not going to happen overnight. I've had well over 15 viral videos in the million view range or greater over the last year. Not one of those videos individually, if one of those videos got to 1 million, would have done anything for my business. It's the collection of all of that together that has driven all of this. So the more you focus on, oh God, this one has to go viral. This is going to be my viral home tour. This is going to be my viral whatever. The more you focus on that is the less of a chance you are going to have success with this. You need to give it time. I'm a testament to that. I've had plenty of viral videos, but individually they do nothing. It's the collective unit and continuing to reach a new and greater audience. That is what brings in the actual business. One viral video, even if you have one viral home tour, is not going to bring you business for 5 years. Having a personal brand built out where people are watching you consistently, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, is what drives your actual business. So you need to give it time. Don't put up content for 2 weeks and say it didn't work. Don't put up content for 90 days and say it didn't work. Put up content for a year, wake up, and if it didn't work, you come here to New Jersey and you can tell me to go F myself or slap me in the face. But I know, and you know, especially if you've listened this far, if you put up content consistently, if you give it time and you put your opinion out there almost every day, you already know it's going to work. Look at me. There's nothing special about what I do. Nothing. I haven't even given you really crazy advice on what to do just yet. But these are the biggest principles I've lived by the last year, and it's driving everything. Everything. Every single day, I have someone new reaching out to me. Every single day is a new opportunity to earn a client for our business. And all of it is with $0 spent, and all of it is organic, and all of it is a traction magnet. Honestly, I want that for you. I want that for every single real estate agent that's listening to this podcast right now. The number 4 thing you have to do if you want to grow on social media in 2025 is get absolutely unbelievable at hooks. The first 2 seconds of your video is more important than the other part of it. So after 2 seconds, say your video is another minute long, or let's say another 58 seconds, it's a minute total. You could give away $1 million after 2 seconds. You could have the best content in the world. You could be interviewing Elon Musk. You could have something crazy in the offer. But if the first 2 seconds sucks, no one's getting there. Vice versa, if the first 2 seconds is amazing and it is an unbelievable hook and then the rest of the video is actually kind of boring, that video will do amazing. Everything is about watch time. All the algorithms have changed. Everything is about watch time. If you could hook someone in for at least a few seconds, your video is going to be golden. Doesn't mean you can just say great hook and then literally just sit there staring at the camera like this. But it does mean you have to get very good at drawing your audience in. And this is something we focus a lot with coaching clients. So if you're not good at this, Natalie Coaching might be perfect for you because this is something we primarily help our agents with. First, in terms of like, okay, here's some great hooks for you for your specific and custom branded content. And then also, here's how you get really good at hooks. If you want another great example of someone I work with, look at Brad White down in Jacksonville, Florida. Some brand new agent I started working with. Go watch some of his earlier videos, especially if you peel back almost a year ago. before he started working with us, to his hooks now. Hooks matter. It does not matter what you look like. It does not really honestly matter what you sound like, because I know a lot of people don't like their voice, but in what you say and how you present things, everything scenery-wise is a hook. And if you deliver great hooks, you will have success with content in 2025. But if you don't develop the skill of really not only like what to say, but how to say it, what to, backdrop, scenery, all these different things, if you don't do it, you won't have success. But it's a skill, just like anything else in life. I had no idea how to film a goddamn podcast when I started this, but I figured it out and it became a skill. Now I come in, I sit down and I film. The first time, it took me probably 7 hours just to film one episode. I could probably film a year's worth of podcasts in 7 hours now, right? Everything is a skill and you need to develop your skills, but you need to get really good at hooks. And if you look at a lot of popular creators, you're going to see a lot of similarities in their hooks. You're going to see they consistently say a very similar thing. And the power of that is once you find a good hook, to stick with it and also be very, very opinionated in your hooks, to bring it back to point number one, and people will get either inspired by what you're talking about or not want to listen to what you're talking about. And when they don't want to listen, and even though it's a negative reaction to it, they're going to stay just to kind of argue. And that's what the brilliance of having the opinion is. But when your hook has delivered, you already know your video is going to do well. So hooks have become of vital importance, and there's plenty of great ones, and it depends on your piece of content. And if you want honest, great advice of great hooks to use, go watch my page. Go on the consumer-facing side and see exactly what I do. The amount of great hooks there is endless, and this is what we share with agents across the country. You probably can tell who I coach. Go view their content, see their hooks. Asking questions using you statements is vitally important in hooks. So a lot of people will hook with, "Hey guys, it's John. Good morning. How we doing today, guys? What's up, everybody?" Or the millennial pause. Doesn't work. Doesn't work, guys. You need to draw the audience in. You need to have an opinion. You need to have a question, and you need to have a you statement. So rather than, "I just checked out a great restaurant," you need to check out this awesome restaurant here in New Jersey. You will not believe the steak dinner that this restaurant serves. Is this the worst house here in New Jersey? Would you ever buy this flip here in New Jersey? These are the hooks, very, very small amount. But those types of statements, those types of questions, those you statements are the types of hooks that are going to get you to grow on social media in 2025. The last and fifth piece of advice for growing on social media in 2025 is to not obsess over being large on every single platform. Do not, especially if you're new, obsess over being large on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads. If you try to have a personal brand and grow on social media on all those platforms, you're going to fail. Because the reality is each platform, now TikTok and Instagram are kind of meshing together. Like Instagram is kind of just copying TikTok's algorithm. A lot of the talking head stuff, a lot of green screens, a lot of stuff like that. Walkthrough home tours are working there. So they're kind of meshing away from that like dumb 3-second video where you're just kind of walking and it's like 3 tips to buy your home, see caption below. Like that stupid shit. That's kind of getting out of the way. On Instagram, they've realized that it's kind of shit content and isn't really doing anything for anyone. So they've kind of copied TikTok's algorithm, which makes sense because TikTok's algorithm is the best for engagement. Do not obsess over being large on every platform. Again, you could use repurpose.io to send your content everywhere. However, you need to have a slightly different strategy for most platforms for them to work. But the most important thing you do is kind of just invest in saying, okay, I'm going to put myself on video. And what age you are is going to honestly is going to point you in which direction you should go. And at least start with one platform. And again, if you're listening to this live, or when this episode drops, we still have a quarter of the year to go. But take 90 to 120 days for each platform. So go all in on TikTok and TikTok only, really. Maybe repurpose some of your content elsewhere just so you start building a presence for 90 to 120 days. You're going to master the TikTok algorithm in that 90 to 120 days and it's become smooth for you. And then you're going to still be able to create your content there and then jump and say, okay, I'm going to do Instagram as well. And this is exactly what I've done over the last year. I didn't obsess over all these other platforms. If you look right now, I think on YouTube, I still only have like 400 subscribers. It's a great time to say, hey, subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't already. But it hasn't been my obsession to grow on YouTube. I'm not really worried about their algorithm just yet. I will be. I'm getting there. I would love to grow on YouTube. But the reality is I went all in on TikTok. Then I've done Instagram as well. Grew that from honestly about like 200 followers, which was like very, very stagnant, to now 2,000. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's hitting my target audience and I'm doing really well with it. To now saying, okay, maybe early next year might be my YouTube path, right? Do not obsess over being large on every platform. Pick one, do it for 90, 120 days. Stop posting content there. Stop worrying about the algorithm and all that stuff because you would have already mastered it. It's going to change a little bit, but you'll see when it does. Boom, go to another platform. So build on top, stack up and walk up the stairs of having a big brand in 2025. And if you start now with one platform, you will do this by the end of next year. There's not that many. However, the most important thing, and I'm going to leave everyone with this, no matter your age, realize the first point of business you will typically get from creating content and growing on social media will be from your sphere. It won't be the strangers just right away. Sometimes it will be, but the majority of the time, it's going to be the people that already know you. This is what I just cannot stress enough to everybody listening. Yes, you have to give it time. Yes, you have to have great hooks. Yes, you have to have an opinion. You have to make it consistent. But the first people that are going to reach out once you put yourself out on video are going to be the people that already know you, they like you, and they trust you. But they're going to be motivated to work with you even more and recommend you even more because they're seeing your video and seeing you get uncomfortable and put yourself out there. So put your fucking self out there. Put your damn face on camera. Stop letting other people's opinions stop you from creating the life of your goddamn dreams. Those people, at first, they may laugh at you, but in reality, after they see the 5th or 6th video and that you are being consistent with this shit, they are going to want to work with you and they're going to recommend you more. And they're going to say, oh, wow, it's so cool that you're doing this. And then a year later, when you've built a massive following, you know what happens to me now? So-and-so texts me, oh, so I ran into so-and-so. They said you're like this big star. They can't believe they know you. I go into Costco. I go to the grocery store. That's kind of the only things we do. Costco, grocery store, Parker too. With our son. I go to pick up my son at school, all these different places. Most places people recognize me now. It's weird, pretty introverted, not a huge fan, but it's powerful for my business. Imagine a year from now, when you step out in public, you're not Taylor Swift, you're not Post Malone, you're not Brad Pitt, but imagine stepping out into your community and most places you go to, people knowing who you are. What would that do for your business? What would that do for your business? That's where you can be if you follow the steps of this video. This is probably, and hopefully you agree, one of the most important episodes I've dropped here on Getting Real in just over a year. And I hope you take the advice of this episode. Please comment below with any questions. Reach out to us at Natali Coaching if you're across the country. And if you're looking for a great company here in New Jersey, join us at Natali.